Welcome to EPLoverLA. This is the week of May 24th through the 30th, 2010, and we definitely had no shortage of headlines this week. David James announced that he wants to be considered as the next Portsmouth manager now that Grant has gone. I really don't know what's funnier, the headline itself or the fact that Portsmouth is supposed to be actually considering it. Cesc Fabregas's data manager made a public plea to resolve his son's future as soon as possible. I think I have a solution for this. Arsene, I think you should package Cesc with Bentner and Fabianski. I mean, two things are going to happen. Either Barcelona will completely back off and we'll get to keep Cesc another season, or you get rid of Bentner and Fabianski. I mean, it's kind of a win-win situation, don't you think? Well, with the World Cup hype, the Jabulani was in the news this week. Jabulani is the official World Cup ball as made by Adidas. Apparently they put a lot of time and care into designing this ball for the high altitudes in South Africa, playing with different materials and textures and different ways to sew the ball together. Adidas actually said that it's possible the ball will be about 5% faster in some of the games. I hope this is true because it may be our only chance at actually seeing Frank Lampard score a penalty. And William Gallas gave the French team a scare when he overturned a dune buggy in a race that was designed as a team-building exercise by their coach. I mean, I can't really make a joke about that because that's just so stupid in and of itself. Well, now sticking with our World Cup theme for this episode, we are going to go to Helen and her thoughts on the English national squad.
Signore Capello, come si dice, I have done your job for you in Italiano. That's right, EPL lovers. I have taken it upon myself to choose the 7 people or players that I think should be removed from the final World Cup team going to South Africa. This is the England national team, of course. All right, let's start with strikers. Emile Heskey. Why? Because he's old. I hate to be ageist, but let's face facts. Going on to goalies. Robert Green. I'm afraid he's just a little too green. But I do love the fact that The Odyssey is his favorite book, so, you know, if they want to do like a, brain team or something, he's your go-to guy. Let's discuss defenders. Jamie Carragher. He retired for a reason, people. Let him retire. And Stephen Warnock. Why? Because I recognized the other names. Moving on to midfielders. We have 5 enviable positions for center midfield. It should be known that England likes to have center midfielders with last names that end in "ard, such as Frank Lampard or Steven Gerrard. So they're automatically in. Michael Carrick is too talented to dismiss, so he's in as well. Tom Huddleston also gets the 4th position because I chose lots of other Spurs and, they'll play well together and mesh well, and he's younger than Scott Parker, who unfortunately gets the boot. The other 2 midfielders to be removed, Adam Johnson and Sean Wee-Phillips. It's not because you play for City Boys. Really. Anyway, Capello, you may or may not agree with the 7 that I have selected for you. But quite frankly, I don't care. It's my segment and not yours.
So I was thrilled to see the recent American issue of Vanity Fair. I mean, the whole thing was about the World Cup and football in general, and I thought that was a big deal, especially here in the States where, let's face it, soccer still isn't one of the major sports that we talk about. So, we all rushed out to get a copy of it, to promote it. And then, imagine my disappointment, though not shock, to find out that a certain cover boy, let's say for the issue, threw a huge hissy fit over the whole thing, claiming that he was going to sue the magazine because they used his image to promote it, when him and his managers have the sole right to decide how his image is used to promote products. Okay, let's just say it's Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, on the one hand, I'm not surprised because he is the queen of douchedom. But on the other hand, I just kind of want to say, really? I mean, shouldn't your focus be on more important things like, oh, I don't know, say the World Cup? I mean, yeah, I know, they have you sharing the cover with Didier Drogba, who is your biggest rival, and in your group stage for the World Cup, which is the group of death, your first game is against the Ivory Coast, which coincidentally is the team that Didier Drogba will be playing for. But shouldn't your focus then be on that instead of throwing a big fit over the fact that you have to share the cover with another player? I mean, shouldn't your priorities be on getting your team through the group stages so you can go on? Instead of, oh, I can't believe that my image has to actually be seen next to this guy and I don't think that my abs are probably shiny enough. I mean, really? And funny that we're not hearing anything from Didier Drogba about this. But, you know, he might be off building hospitals in Africa or something. I mean, where are his priorities?
This week's topic was a suggestion from one of our American viewers. So for those of you a little less familiar with football terms, here's a little English lesson. So is it football or soccer? Well, it's actually association football. The word soccer comes from the term association. Football is also referred to as the beautiful game, and it's credited as the most popular sport in the world. It's governed by the Fédération Internationale de Football Association, also known as FIFA, and the game is played on the pitch, which we Americans might know as the field. The kit refers to the standard equipment and attire that a player must use, including the shirt, shorts, socks, but it can be more specific, even prohibiting something that might be dangerous. Stoppage time is additional time played at the end of each half, resulting from interruptions like injuries or substitutions, and it ensures that a full 90 minutes of game time is played. Promotion and relegation is a process that happens at the end of each season where teams are transferred between the divisions. For example, 3 teams are relegated down from the Premier League and 3 promoted up from the Championship. Economic woes have affected us all, and football is no exception. Administration is a legal procedure that allows a business in financial trouble to continue to operate without being forced to sell off assets to pay debts. There's a 9-point penalty for a club to go into administration, so it's seen as a last resort before liquidation. And here's one I just learned, a hat trick. It's when a player scores 3 goals in one game. It's also known as a triple hat, after Helen's had a few, but I don't think that one's official. Feel free to post any questions you might have about football terms, rules, or even the latest headlines or rumors. Come on, with the World Cup coming up, there's gotta be something you're dying to know. The kit refers to the standard attire and the kit refers to the standard, I don't know what it refers to.